Bryan Kohberger has pled guilty to the murders of the Idaho University students Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. Since then, we are learning disturbing details about the crime scene, as well as the questioning of the surviving roommates Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. The crime scene on November the 13th of 2022 was described by responding officers as gruesome and indicative of an intense struggle. Upon entering the King Road residence, police found blood pooled on comforters covering the floors and splattered on the walls. There was even blood coming through the outside of the home through the panels. Specifically in Xana's room, officers noted signs of an intense struggle and blood smeared on various items and the walls. Xana was found on the floor in her underwear in a gray sweatshirt covered in blood. She had defensive wounds on her hands, including a deep gash between her pointer finger and her thumb. It was noted that her fingers were almost severed off. An autopsy later revealed that she had sustained over 50 stab wounds, which many of were defensive. Maddie Mogen and Kaylee Goncalves were found together under a bloody blanket. Maddie had wounds on her forearm and her hands, appearing to be defensive wounds. Her face was mutilated, with a gash under her right eye extending down to her nose. Kaylee was found unrecognizable as her facial structure was severely damaged. She had sustained over 30 stab wounds. A disgusting amount of rage went into these murders, and we will never know why, not even a little bit, especially now because Kohberger has pled out to avoid the death penalty. Ethan Chapin was found hanging off of Xana's bed with over 30 stab wounds and blood splatters nearby. Investigators focused on the main entries of the home, noting that the back patio door was open with fingerprints smudged, as well as footsteps in the snow leading away from the home. A damaged window screen was also found on the ground near the back door. The murder weapon, believed to be a single-edged, extremely sharp object, has not been recovered. However, the sheath was found at the scene with Kohberger's DNA on it. The police questioning of the surviving roommates Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk provided crucial insights. Dylan, who stayed on the second floor, told investigators that she was awoken around 4 a.m. from what she believed to be Kaylee playing with her dog. Dylan told investigators that shortly after, she heard Kaylee say, "Someone's here." She then claimed she looked out her bedroom but saw nothing. Dylan then said that she heard crying coming from Xana's room and a male voice say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." When Dylan opened her door a third time, she saw a male figure wearing all black and a ski mask. She described him as having a lean build and bushy eyebrows, although I do find it odd that she didn't mention his crazy eyes. I mean, those things stare right into your soul, man. Dylan stated that she then locked herself in her room and reported hearing Kaylee's dog barking throughout the night. Horrifying considering what we know now. But you know what she didn't do though? Call 911. Dylan's phone activity shows that she began frantically calling and texting her roommates around 4:20 a.m. She also exchanged messages with the other surviving roommate, Bethany, indicating that she saw a man in a ski mask. Dylan texted Kaylee asking what's going on, but received no reply. Bethany, who stayed in the basement, told police that she woke up after she heard what she thought was a firecracker going off and thought she saw a sprinkler going off underneath the crack of her door. She then told police that she received a text message from Dylan saying that she saw a man in the home wearing all black and a ski mask. Bethany also attempted to call Maddie, Xana, and Ethan, but received no response. You'd think someone might go check on them? Bethany and Dylan continued texting about the man in the house, with Bethany encouraging Dylan to come to her room. Bethany Funk's phone activity shows calls to her father around 7:30 a.m. and later accessing Snapchat and Instagram. Like, how worried are you truly if you're playing around on your phone? Neither one of the girls called 911, but instead called friends to come over several hours later. It was those friends who made the call to 911. Both of the surviving roommates were under the influence of alcohol and claimed they thought that they were mistaken. Like, why not go check on your friends in the same flipping house? I mean, oh, there's no way they didn't hear more. How'd you not hear people break in? I mean, there's so many questions, and now we won't have any answers to at least some of those questions because they're not going to be called to the stand to testify now. I truly was looking forward to that. Their credibility has been called into question, and both girls gave victim impact statements at Kohberger's sentencing. I do believe it's sketchy. I do not think that he acted alone, and I think that part of his plea, as well as not wanting to die, obviously, may be protecting people. And I am very, very, very sketchy about the roommates. I'm looking at them sideways. I don't care. I mean, we've all been under the influence in the past, and I don't even have to say more for you guys to get it. Bryan Kohberger has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He sat very cold in the courtroom, just like he has this entire trial, with those extremely dead eyes, and declined to say anything. With his plea deal, he was able to avoid the death penalty. I cannot believe how brutal the scene was. Like, this guy, he's extremely sick, especially if there was like no real motive behind this. I mean, there's never any sort of motive that can justify taking a life, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, this is the stuff you would see in like crimes of passion, or, I don't understand it. I'm very shocked, to say the least. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I did not expect it to be so gruesome, and with that being said, the fact that it was so gruesome and it was such a violent attack, we already know that the roommates knew something was going on. And why would he walk past a person? Why would he walk past a witness? Why would you leave a witness? Why didn't you take her too? Why didn't you take everybody in the house out? It makes no sense to me. I have so many questions, and I was looking forward to this trial because of all these questions. I guess we'll never know. But I want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you guys think of all these details coming out? You guys know I always love to hear everything you have to say, and thank you guys so much for clicking on this video today. If you are new here and you do enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss videos just like this one. And if you did like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, as it's a free way to support the channel. I hope you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in my next video.